What's the single best intermediate run in all of Australia? I'd argue it's tucked away in the back corner of Mt Hotham, requiring multiple chairlifts just to reach it. But before we get there, we need to count down the other runs that make Hotham a standout destination for intermediate riders. I live in Melbourne and try to get in 10 to 15 days of riding each season. After experiencing intermediate terrain across all of Australia, plus Japan, North America, New Zealand, and Europe, I can confirm that Hotham has the best intermediate terrain in Australia. Sure, it doesn't stack up to international competition, but there's always something special about riding at your home resorts, especially if it's a good snow season. Today, I'm ranking my top 5 intermediate runs at Mt Hotham. Not just the groomed cruises everyone talks about, but the runs that actually challenge you to improve while rewarding you with some of the best alpine scenery Australia has to offer. If you've ridden at Hotham or any of the Victorian resorts, drop a comment below with your favourite intermediate run. And if this video helps you plan your next trip to the mountains, hit that like button and subscribe for more honest Australian ski resort content. Right, let's get into it. Number 5, Teley Treat. Starting our countdown with a run that's really about what it connects you to rather than the run itself. Teley Treat drops off the top of the gotcha chair and serves as your gateway to what I consider the best pocket of intermediate terrain in the entire country. The run itself starts with a mandatory straight line section to build momentum for the climb on the other side. It's during this climb that you'll see exactly why the Orchard area has become my favourite zone at any Australian resort. The terrain opens up with sweeping views of the surrounding peaks and Mount Feathertop dominating the background. From here, intermediate riders can gracefully work their way around the rim of the valley, taking in those alpine views before dropping into the gully and weaving between the snow gums toward the Orchard lift base. The run drops 96 vertical metres from 1785 metres to 1689 metres, and while it's not the longest descent, it's setting you up for the best intermediate terrain on the mountain. Number 4, Sunun. Sunun earns its spot at number 4 purely because of how many laps you can get in. This is the run that keeps giving back, session after session. Starting from the Roadrunner chair, you'll connect via Sunun Upper, technically a green run that bridges you across the main road. Once you're past that connector, the trail opens into a proper wide blue run that drops 143 vertical metres from 1,818 metres down to 1,675 metres. In the morning, when it's freshly groomed, this is where you can really open it up or work on linking clean turns. By afternoon, natural bumps start forming, but they're never aggressive enough to intimidate intermediate riders. It's that perfect progression from smooth morning cruising to slightly more technical afternoon riding. The only downside, when you reach the bottom, you're funneled into playground and gully catwalk, which I'd argue are the worst intermediate trails in Australia due to overcrowding and lack of pitch. But we're here to talk about the best runs, so let's move on to number 3. Number 3, upper and lower. Imagine. Now we're getting into terrain that'll actually push your riding forward. Upper Imagine is marked black on the trail map, but on a groomed morning, it rides more like a steep blue, making it perfect for intermediate riders ready to test advanced terrain. The upper section gives you that steeper pitch to build confidence on black runs, while the lower section mellows out as you merge with traffic from Milky Way. This entire zone sits beneath the Heavenly Chair, which locals consider the best lift at any Victorian resort for good reason. The run is wide enough to handle crowds while maintaining that engaging pitch. The valley views stretch out below you as you descend 226 vertical metres from 1,762 metres to the Heavenly Chair base at 1,536 metres. It's challenging enough to improve your technique while remaining well within intermediate comfort zones. Number 2, Milky Way plus Blue Snake plus Snake Gully. This combination earns second place because it delivers the most comprehensive intermediate experience on the mountain. Starting at 1,757 metres, Milky Way offers some of the most expansive valley views in the entire alpine region, including perfect sightlines to Mount Feathertop. Instead of following the crowd onto Lower Imagine, veer left onto Blue Snake for a completely different experience. This short connector has genuine pitch and develops natural moguls by late afternoon. Perfect for intermediate riders wanting to try their first bump runs. Blue Snake flows into Snake Gully, which maintains that engaging terrain all the way back to the Heavenly Chair base. The entire combination drops 221 vertical meters and showcases exactly why Hotham's intermediate terrain is superior to anything at Empty Buller or Falls Creek. The only caveat is weekend and holiday crowds, as this becomes one of the main arteries back to Heavenly Chair. But if you time it right during weekdays, this combination is absolutely unbeatable. Number 1. Bushwhacker. Here's my number 1, and if you catch it on a perfect bluebird day, you'll understand immediately why I rate this as the best intermediate run in Australia. Bushwhacker sits in the absolute back corner of the resort, requiring both the gotcha chair and orchard chair to reach. That journey alone filters out casual riders, leaving you with relatively uncrowded slopes and 8 different intermediate options once you arrive. The run itself starts at 1817 meters and offers 109 vertical meters of perfectly pitched intermediate terrain. When it's freshly groomed, Bushwhacker rides incredibly fast while maintaining that blue level comfort zone. The isolation means it stays fresh longer than any other intermediate run on the mountain. But here's the real advantage. Once you've made the effort to get out here, you're in a zone with 8 different intermediate trails, all with their own character. Plus, if you're feeling confident, several of the advanced runs in this area are accessible when groomed. The combination of quality terrain, minimal crowds, and variety makes this corner of Hotham the best intermediate riding experience in Australia. It's worth the extra lift rides to get here. There you have it. My top 5 intermediate runs at Mt Hotham, with Bushwhacker taking the crown for best intermediate terrain in the country. What sets Hotham apart from Falls Creek and Mt Buller is this combination of genuine pitch, alpine views, and variety that keeps intermediate riders progressing rather than just cruising. If you're planning a trip to the Victorian Alps and consider yourself a solid intermediate rider, Hotham should be your priority. The terrain here will challenge you in the right ways while rewarding you with some of the best alpine scenery Australia offers. What's your favourite intermediate run at Hotham or any of the Victorian resorts? Have you made it out to the Orchard area, or are you still working up to tackling the back corners of these mountains? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one and love hearing about other people's experiences on these slopes. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more honest Australian ski content, and I'll see you on the mountain. Thanks for watching. Ciao.